Is it rolling? Is it rolling? I'm live. And you read for me when you money. I got wings to fly. That doesn't look like I thought it was going to. I had a couple Kleenex just sitting there. I had to make them ring. And I knew that I'm lying. Oh, we got two people here already. So, okay. Today, oh, hi, Michelle. How are you? Nice to see you. It's past the noon hour, so I'm sort of surprised that you're not busy at work, but cool. Been kind of struggling to connect lately a little bit, I think. But anyway, it's very much. Oh, really? Any particular reason? Or yeah, every particular reason. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm curious. Well, that worked out, and you got here very quickly, and it looks like you brought a friend or somebody else is here. So I'm curious to see who it is. Um, Sometimes you got to. Sometimes, right? Especially, you must have done it because it's my birthday. Honestly, that's what I really think is the reason. Even though you might be a little bit behind in the chat, I'm glad that you're here. Um, Everything like usual, or almost everything. Little this, little bit of that. You can see the description as well. And this is the third podcast I've done today, but I didn't have a whole lot going on, and I really appreciate the YouTube community. And I think am I seeing snow flying around or sitting on things, or is it just because it's gray? I don't know. Thanks. Bring me in live. Oh, you can try and send a request to do that. I mean, I'm definitely familiar with you, and I don't mind that for a little while. I'm doing this on the laptop, though. I could do it on here. This is at 100%, but I did the setup. I got it all rolling here. I guess I could call you in another platform on here and show you on the screen, because, yeah, I only know how to do that on the computer. I mean, on the, which this is, on the cell phone. But that being said, that would be kind of cool, especially since the Zoom doesn't work. Oh, and I'm holding something on this one, and the other one G has. Where are those chew sticks, Sonny? Because I can tell you're gonna want one the way you got us straight. I am gonna be actually cooking though. It's right around the time, or maybe about in 15 minutes, when I should give G a quick call to see how things are going at work. I was a little bit anxious this morning that something might happen to him, and I'm trying to find. Has anybody ever had these weird things? Good. Now I can put them away. You're like, I don't know. You showed me so quick, but probably he's eaten half of the peanut butter cookies. I think I've only had one. How dare he? Anywho, let me just say I'm from East Don, where it's just below the YouTube link. Okay, now I can do it on this device, but I'm just curious why you want to. You planning to sing me something, or just want to say hi to people that way too? I mean, it's a cool idea, and we can. I mean, it still doesn't really say my name and who I am, so it's still kind of anonymous in that way. But also, I know that you haven't been here much and in a while, but I think I just discovered that somebody else I follow has a third mod. I've gotten two or three now. One yesterday and maybe two the day before. We can get a good discussion going anyway, but I mean, you can certainly help. We've got a second person that's been at least watching for a few minutes. So, you don't think I can keep a good discussion going myself? No, but and you're talking here, but yeah, we could do that. What are my focuses on right now? What, you took the day off and you're in the city? Well, that would, because right at this, but I just want in. Okay, and can't do it with everybody, but we're gonna let her in to the party for a few moments. I really have to call. It's easier when he's on his lunch, but he gets his lunch at various times. The only thing is that, okay, the way I'm thinking of doing it, unless you have another device that you can answer it on, the way I'm thinking of doing it is calling on the cell phone. It's calling on the cell phone, hotline bling, because I've got it rolling here. I've got it set up. I don't really want to redo that. I don't know how to do it on this device. Oh, that might be the thing under the settings option. That might be the thing. I don't know what that is. But yeah, would you also be open to being a mod? So I can do it on here, but I think you're going to have to use two different devices to do it the way that would make most sense today. Because one reason why I don't want to roll on this one is, although the last couple times it's been okay, sometimes I'll do it and then it drops by three minutes, and it's like, where did that 3 minutes just go? It was there, and then what? So, but you don't know how to. You said, well, if you're watching on a cell phone, you might see a request to join on camera. I feel like cell phones are better with that for some weird reason. And I was having a hard time focusing. I was so excited about doing this. I kind of rushed myself upstairs and then I rushed myself back downstairs. I need to eat. But if you can figure that out, or like I say, if you have a secondary device, you can try and it might be a little icon. I forget what it looks like at the moment. And again, to anybody that sees this afterwards, and you're the only one here right now, I would only do this with people that I'm already kind of familiar with and planned. Although we're kind of planning in the moment, I think. But I can call you. We do that sometimes. If we have both cell phones here, we just answer on the one. And then it, I can call you if you can answer on a computer or cell phone, depending on which one you're on. That would work. No? But yeah, I forget what the icon looks like. It's like a little layered square, I think, with a silhouette, maybe, possibly. But just look at the menu, see what you find. I'm going to get this started. It's 1:30. I can't believe it. I was almost at a networking event, and it's not that windy, but it might rain. It's cold. I'm slow. I'm tired. I'm feeling so. I didn't get an email back. I didn't know what to think, and I've talked about that lots. So when I don't know what to think, that's not the only reason why sometimes I come in podcast, but it's like I come here and I ask you to tell me. Just kidding. And hopefully when there's a few people I'm kind of expecting might tune in, and then who knows about the randoms? I mean, whoever knows about the randoms, right? Just kidding. No offense to the randoms. Who you calling random anyway? You and you. And sometimes you and me, and sometimes we. Sorry. Don't forget to give this a like. I know the person chatting likes it, but remember to give it a like. So that's stamped on there, and the other two, and subscribe, and anyone else that sees this, welcome to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I'm just multitasking here, cooking, looking. That was for the cake, wasn't it? Yeah, why is it in here? Thank you. And I realize I'm wearing a lot of pink, and I'm also getting warm, so I'm gonna start cooking. I won't go too far though. Is there such a thing? I don't know. Anyway, see what I mean about no filter? What can you do, eh? So, I'm making lunch. That's very strange. I don't know if we want to try this because I'm kind of curious too. If it boots you out, it boots you out. You can come back in. How's that? And again, if this isn't somebody's cup of tea or coffee, you can look elsewhere. But I'm very diverse, so I'm sure I am. Certain someone watching actually helped me out with that in a big way, more than once. But and that almost made its way into the previous podcast. But I think I'd rather that than email it to that guy. I don't know. I have to make sure I remember I'm cooking. Hi. How are you? Good. Your hair's gotten really long. It's Michelle there. She's on the screen one way or another. I wonder if I can find. I got one of those little tripods recently, but I didn't remember where I put it, and I don't want to walk away from the laptop for too long. Let me just take a look where I think it's at. I don't know if I could even prop it easily, though. It'd be very curious, I think, if I did. I'll just say there she is. Every few moments, there she is again. Huh? Sometimes there is with the tech, yeah. So I don't want to ignore the other two as well, but was there something that you wanted to come in about, or just?
Well, last night during my meditation, I actually had this vision of just being able to join you live on these as just here's a window of you and your day. I can just pop in like an old friend as you're talking, and yeah, I just thought today was a good day to jump in while you're talking like an old friend.
Okay, cool. We haven't talked as much lately, but still kind of friendly. That's nice. Yeah, I've been getting premonitions as well, and that I guess is I sometimes do. So at the moment, I'm just making a beef and cheese sandwich. I'm trying to decide if I want to incorporate this, if I can find it, this gravy thing. It's easy enough to make, but I don't know. Actually, it's not going to be a sandwich. It's going to be a wrap, and because I think that'll be better if I do it with the gravy. And Ray visited earlier this morning, and was saying some things about being healthy, and you can see that one later. It started off this morning with a short, like 15-minute one, and then after a couple hours, it was a 4-hour one, and now here we are. But yeah, it seems like it. It seems to just be kind of happening, yeah. But and I really wanted to try and get to something today, but I don't think it's going to happen. But there'll always be other somethings, I suppose. But
You can bring it up, and I can contribute if it helps.
What's that?
You can bring it up, and I can contribute if it helps.
I have in other recent podcasts. I'm not sure if you've noticed or not. Basically, it's that it's supposed to rain. I don't know if I have bus fare. I do have some cash, but I'd really rather not blow it on a cab. And physically, the arthritis and such isn't too bad, but I've been having a bit of an upset stomach in that. Maybe just because I needed to have some lunch, although it's not the first thing I've had today. But and the dog's been upstairs while I've been podcasting for a while, so now he's able to roam around and trying to find something to give him to occupy himself with, because he might want to start singing. But yeah. Not sure what else to say about it, but so gonna maybe try and do some. Man, that your hair's looking more and more like that wig a certain somebody has.
Yeah, when you get it in the sun, eh?
Yeah. Well,
behind it.
Yes, so yeah. I might do some music. I was part of what inspired this title is I've been watching a guy on YouTube for probably 3 months now, maybe, who is doing this thing that some people like to do called van life. and so he mostly based in California. And in fact, today he had the guitar out for the first time in quite a while, and getting to know his community. At first, it was mostly him, or just it wasn't really anybody I was talking with, but I'm getting to know them a little bit. And yeah, I'd forgotten that he played guitar. He has a hand drum, I believe, but and and I think, if I remember, not to say too much, but I also don't know a whole lot, even though I said I've been following. Sometimes we do like walking tours or whatever. Or recently for Halloween, him and his friend that was visiting from another place were walking around and interchangeably being the banana costume. I don't know, but yeah, he's quite lovely. And he said that, if I remember correctly, he started doing it when his brother passed away, and he's, I think, a little bit younger than me. And so kind of a bohemian lifestyle. But I would have loved to have, well, then I would have been ready to that thing. But I was there digitally, and it was nice and everything. So yeah. So, okay. So just have to focus for a moment here. It's just I don't know if I find it dry without that, and I have it, and it's quite good. I have been trying to eat a little bit better. Oh, we have somebody just tuned in, so hello. I'm just multitasking here, doing a video call with a friend, and cooking, and then we'll do some music, and looks like they maybe left, I'm not sure. Yes, it's been interesting. It seems to be very popular in India right now, and Pakistan. Yeah, and yeah. Well, I was thinking of you a little bit earlier too, because I was mentioning, and I don't know, maybe just be what you're wearing, I'm not sure, but I was mentioning in a roundabout, not really actually mentioning way, that thing that you got me, or a couple of things, or I mean, how you want to put it. Yeah. But that may have been kind of an introduction to our viewer that was watching earlier, because he's like a first-year university student just out of high school, and so he didn't. I wasn't quite sure if he was. Yeah. Anyway, but you can see that. You can see how that went later if you want. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely a bit disappointed not to go to that event though, because it would have been something really neat to do on today. It's not really that far, but it would probably take me 30, 40 minutes to get there. And yeah. So, but I'll try and maybe hop online and learn some things there. And I think that's something I really need to do more, and would recommend it to a lot of people. I mean, we may not be wrong to think that certain ambitions or goals that we have are meant for us, but sometimes I wonder if we looked into them a little bit more, would we still feel that? And there's a certain satisfaction that I feel sometimes comes from doing that and realizing, maybe that's not something I'd really want to do. Mm-hmm. Even if it's also a disappointment in that. So, I mean.
Well, and then you have to kind of let that disappointment go and grieve that as well, right?
Right. I mean, when certain things always seem to come as a calling, it feels like, but I don't know. It's been. I'm juggling
that a little bit too right now, where I feel like, am I trying to create time myself? Is it my ego thinking that I should be further along than I am? Or is my soul purpose trying to climb out and kick me in the butt and say, get going, right? That I was just talking about that.
Well, I know, yeah, it's something that you kind of think about a lot in that, and but sometimes easier said than done for sure. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say all of my 30s have been a struggle or have been full of pain, but there has been quite a lot. And so I'm only hoping that this next decade is going to be a little different, a little kinder. I don't know. But again, there has been some good things, and so I try and make sure that I'm noticing those too.
How are you making sure that this next year is going to be filled with joy and happiness?
I don't know. I think I'm at a spot where I'm kind of remembering that I'm also podcasting. Not that I don't think there's anyone else there at the moment, but just kind of, to not make it seem like this is a counseling session, but I guess it was. But I mean, I don't know. I think I'm at a spot where I'm just needing to kind of reevaluate some things. Unfortunately, and I don't know what that looks like really. Of course, I have thought that I did, but I'm not really sure. But
I know everything's so confusing right now.
What's that?
It just all seems so confusing right now. I have like a few different paths that I can take as my next steps, and I'm just sitting here in the decision paralysis stage.
Oh yeah, really? So kind of fell back into that a little bit. I think you had been mentioning that a little bit. Yeah. So
Analyzing it, that it's coming to the surface, and I can get past this wall.
I mean, that's an important reminder. I think that even though I guess a lot of us, most of us, have great potential, and we, we got abilities, we got skills. It can happen to any of us, like a lot of things, where just
stage of our progression too, right?
Yeah,
We're
it's
all going to feel that at different stages, like.
And it can kind of, I guess it's also something to remember that just as easily as you can kind of fall into whatever you want to call it, whether you've been in one for a while or recently, that you can get back out of them. So, I mean, here's hoping for all of us.
For sure. Cheers to that.
I was just going to look and see if Dawn was available. But I also met someone recently. I have the door slightly open, and the neighbor can be pretty busy during the day. I just want to check. Okay, good. There was an error showing, and I thought it was because a few pictures I sent didn't send through because they were slow to do so, and then they did, but it was still showing. But now I've sent again, and now it's fine. But I've mentioned a little bit on the channel that I have to focus a bit here, but it's okay. I met a lady that she's a teacher, but she also, recently when I was around her in person, she said that it was rare that she had 3 or 4 days worth of photo work to do. But unless this is just kind of starting to pick back up for her, it seems like she is kept quite busy between work, her kids, and her side job, and whatever else, I suppose, too. She does a lot of bar mitzvah and the equivalent, which I don't even know if I knew of before I heard of it. She does some weddings. She probably does a lot of different stuff, but lately she kind of, and it looked like she wasn't really sure how to do it, so she was trying in a couple of different ways. I mean, I haven't been talking with her that much, really, for me. But it sounds like, yeah, she was kind of struggling to. Anyway, we do have somebody that's still here, or that just tuned in, and I am trying to figure out this cooking thing. Why is it so warm in here? I don't have the oven on. Okay, they left, I think. But yeah, so, and it's been this thing where she's given a thumbs up or a heart to me saying, hopefully I can come tag along on, some of your photo jobs or whatever soon or whatever. But she doesn't really seem to be actually trying to help it to happen. And this is, I guess, an example of where people have different priorities sometimes, and where, I can only do as much as I can do. And, that's a message for all of us when we're trying to do things too, I guess, just remembering that I'm podcasting as well. Like Ray told me this morning, I think she thinks it would be great if I was in a band and knows that it's something I want. but I think that she also was telling me that it'll happen when it's meant to. Like, just accept that, But it's it's like I told G this morning. I said, I've got the time to do it now, though. It's something I would like to do again, And I look on Kijiji every now and then for people looking, and sometimes there's a little bit of a back and forth, and then it falls off. Sometimes I never hear back from somebody, and some things honestly just aren't a fit. So I mean, it's but I also know too. I should remember that. And again, I'm kind of multitasking here. I'm triple tasking. Talking to a friend here, trying to figure out lunch, and it's almost 2:00. I really should give G a quick call while he might be on his lunch break, and podcasting.
I'll let you go and take care of your stuff and finish your podcast. It was nice to be on for a little bit, just to be part of your world and be able to talk with you live.
Well, you're welcome to come back to the chat, and okay, sounds good. That kind of makes it a bit easier, I think. But yes, it's been nice. Thank you. Okay. Take care. Okay, next, or as my friend Leanne would say, Grand Central Station. Okay, so I got that going on. Oh my god! Oh no, that's not hot. Okay, I almost burnt the place down. Knight, where are you? Day, here you are. Sorry, there's a guy named Knight that follows me. That his wife tried to tease him to say that that there was a fire, and he's like, no, she was just joking. I said, how twisted, like how freaking. Pardon my French. Anywho, okay, I just need to focus for a moment, and I should take a drink, and I should call G and know that that's done. And you can see. I don't know who's out here, but but I know that I'm not all there. Just kidding. Hi, how's it going? Oh yeah? Okay, I didn't notice. How's it going? Good. Okay, well that's good. I did. That was instant. I was doing a podcast this morning. Went okay. Then I just started one. Michelle was there, and then we just did a video call. And reminding her about tonight's party as well. And I'm finally getting to lunch, but I wanted to call you where you were on yours. You're not yet. Okay. I know it was getting near that time, but it's not consistent. But it's hard to know. Sometimes the preferences don't work out. Yeah. 2:30. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully you located your sandwich that you forgot there. And sandwich you're eating now, to be Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, other than the videos night and resting, I guess we'll just play the rest of the plans by ear. And I think it's supposed to get nicer in the next few days. So, yeah. Okay. We'll talk to you then. Okay. Bye. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter which of the two of us is. Are you eating your food? Is that what you keep eating? No, you're not. Thank you for dropping it. Good. I'll give you at least a treat. Didn't even really chew it much. So I'm talking about our dog, okay? And he just dropped something very nicely. Kind of wanted to give him something that's going to distract him for a bit longer, but he goes to those fast. I can't find the other thing. And I think he's already had one today, to be honest. And if I'm moving around in the kitchen, it's not so much of a. I don't know where I put him. Why does it seem the oven is not on? I'm gonna have to turn the heat down. Probably just because I'm rolling it up. Rolling it up. Oh my gosh, I am so tired. But that's why eventually getting sleep is a thing, right? Oh, what do I do? How do I do it? But sometimes, whether it's a death or a birthday, sometimes that's when we feel extra love. But I mean, I've been doing a bit better these days, but there's no need for anybody to be jealous ever and think, oh, I don't even have one person to talk to, because it's really one of those hit and miss things. But yeah, she is really great. She wanted to try and see if she could help me still make that thing happen, I think. But I think she realized she couldn't, which, is hard for her. But it's hard for both of us, honestly. But, oh. I know she might. Well, but you know what? If she can't come now, she'll maybe come later. You know? Ah. I don't think I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. How I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. All of it. Wow. Maybe the last one of it. No. Okay, mark that, please. Okay, mark that right. I need to slow down for a moment. There's nobody here. I've given 30 minutes worth of content, and that's not all I've done today. So I just where's the bedding moment? How do I make this stuff? And is there room for it in the fridge, whatever's left? That'd be a good way to revive that, but it wouldn't go with that as much. I think so. Maybe. I think so. Maybe. I think so. Maybe, baby. I think so. Maybe, baby. I so think. I think so. I think so. Oh, ba-da-da-ba. So we have somebody there. Welcome to the Gong Show, or whatever you want to call it. Oh my goodness! You know what? Some people do have these things, very few. But let me just think for a moment, because believe it or not, I actually have a gong. If you'd be curious about it. Okay, I guess you're not. I feel a little bit weird having a gong, but it's really more G. I just have them along with him. But it's yeah. It's yeah. It's a yeah. It's a yeah. Okay. I mean, he understands. Oh, I just want to quickly say, Well, that says all of them. Then I think that's a musical phrase. Might depend on the device too. Okay, I'm going to be focusing anyway, so I'm going to multitask here. Oh my goodness. I'll be amazed if I have a voice after today. But I was quiet for a little while. It was a good time to transition anyway. Isn't it always? Anyway, good time to transition anyway because because my arthritis was acting up a little bit. Okay, how long does it take an individual to make gravy anyway these days? The rest is gravy. Hi, Grandpa. Hello. I have not heard from my grandpa very much. It's interesting. One thing that I would also say can help with this, and I don't know how to explain it maybe very well, and I don't know if it makes sense. And it's kind of similar to what I said about when I first felt my dad's presence. But one thing that I would say, or what can kind of start it, and there are so many people that would benefit from hearing this, because I know it already, but this is when I'm thinking to say it, so I guess I'll say it. And people say, I can't watch all this, I can maybe watch half an hour of it. If you give that 7 more minutes, you'll hear this. So actually, maybe 45, just to be sure. One thing that I think sometimes helps is when we, like what I did there, and I'll explain what it was. Now, a while back, I had a session. I guess when I approached her, that would have been my second if I had done it with a medium. And she had used the phrase, "It's all gravy." I believe there's a song called that too, or with a lyric like that. So, and I feel like she was talking about my grandfather. I don't think she said much, or she said older man or something. And I've always made that connection ever since. I also think of high school. So, I mean, it kind of made sense. And it's, again, with this thing, don't be jealous because my grandparents were cremated, but I've since learned with Ray that doesn't matter. That does not, some people probably think, oh, are they going to transition to heaven then? Yes, definitely. I've learned that in my life with the experiences I've had, OBEs and that kind of thing. But I didn't ever hear from my grandparents that much. I went through most of my early adult life never knowing my other grandparents until, I met them. I mean, and I don't know what parts of it I should share, but I do want to focus on the fact that my grandpa might be visiting, and I want to remind everybody that the YouTube community is also very important to me, and connection in general. But I don't. I think some people maybe aren't able to channel or hear from lost loved ones because they don't let themselves. They may miss them. They may really want to, but they're like, that's just too weird. I can't do that. Or maybe their religion tells them they can't. Where are my socks? I'm just wondering. But I'm here to tell you that it can coexist with religion. Just a moment. I'm looking. Oh, here they are, right here. It can coexist with religion. I'm not going to say that I'm the strongest religious person out there. I mean, a lot of people struggle with their faith, but I would say I'm agnostic. Um, so I believe, and in fact, this ability has helped me to believe. It's showed me that my loved ones, who, whether I knew that they believed or not, they've told me they've met God. You know, it's a gift, I feel, that God can give us, and it can, when present, it can be very special, and it's a gift for ourselves, and it's a gift to show that it's possible for others, and to help others with too sometimes. So my grandfather was quite a reserved man. Um, Hi, Jacqueline. Oh, good to have you back. I'm not sure if you caught any of my content in between the times, but so nice to have you here. Um, yeah, basically, I said in one of my videos, it was well into it though. I said that basically, and for which part, out of curiosity? I'm trying to make my lunch too. It's 2 o'clock. Goodness gracious. But anyway, it's okay. That your mother afterwards, also thanked me, and didn't want to kind of disturb our morning plans too much. And I said, "Oh, that's what a nice lady." And she says, "Yes, I am. Thank you," or something like that. And she says, "Now that I know that I can do this, I really wanted to reach out to my daughter, and that yes, she has been watching." She has been watching me do some of my content, getting familiar with me. I don't know how she found out about me. They have their ways there. And I just have to get my lotion because these ones don't have much in them. Oh, actually, maybe I got enough for now. No, I'll grab one. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So indecisive. Then he's tearing apart I'm not vacuum, tearing apart the bit of that. Either that or I dropped it, but um, yeah, basically, and you're welcome, by the way. So yeah, she says she's been watching me, and she thought I have to figure out a way to get them to connect. Yeah, and she's actually kind of saying now that she feels like you kind of do spend a lot of time on YouTube, or that you've been. I don't know if I'm processing it right or not. This is a little bit of a tricky thing when you're working with your own head. Sometimes confidence levels. That's the dog drinking at my feet here, and the distance. Sometimes, no wonder so many people struggle with it, including myself sometimes. But basically, saying something to the effect of that, she sensed that you were very drawn to YouTube, and I don't know if you post content yourself personally. I don't know. Um, but it's definitely something that your mother would support you doing. Um, and she really does miss you. She really does. And she says that she's actually been seeing some things that you've been going through that make her really sad. You got it here. Got it here, sister. Jacqueline, or Jackie, is a bit of one of those names for me that I make associations with, and some of them are a little hard, but I'm glad to meet a new one. Okay. Honestly, I should at least have this get restarted. And I feel like I've ignored my grandfather, so let's see if there's anything. He says it's looking pretty wild in here. Well, thank you. It's like I don't even know. He says, I'm really just here to say happy birthday, and that I'm sorry that you don't sense me very much. And thank you. Yeah. And he's passing along from my grandmother. She wasn't exactly quiet. Yeah. She wasn't exactly a quiet one. I always loved her for her slang. Even Linda, but they weren't super bubbly people. Like if we want bubbly, he says, my gift to you is bringing, the grandparents from the other side as well, into the party if you'd like. Yeah, sure, I'm cool with it. And it seems like your mother's here with the party, and she's got this big smile on her face. She seems to be a woman that, and donations are welcome, but not forced. She seems to be, well, she is a woman that, and I have to plug this in soon. That she actually, what I'm seeing in my visual is she has a very lovely smile, but she didn't even hide behind a smile sometimes. She sometimes actually looked pissed off at the world, if that makes sense. Or at least that's what I'm seeing. And I have a few other angels present right now, but that's kind of either that or she's saying that you are she says, I'm a lot like my daughter. She says, you're catching her when you're getting her here to chat with when you both really need it. I need to start this gravy. I just need to start it. What do I need? Speaking of needing, how much water? 1 cup. Where's the cup? It's gonna have to be this. I've been feeling very, very alone. I kind of processed that a moment ago, but I didn't fully. And I understand. And I will relate to the fact that YouTube, nobody ever do anything bad, because seriously, it can be kind of life-saving for the person that is creating the content and for the person that's on the other side of it. I have been going out of my usual comfort zone for the past 2 or 3 months, and occasionally joining other people's chats, people that I'd already kind of been following. I didn't even really feel like, and I'm very much geared to that way. Like, I am a fairly social person, even though I sometimes get quiet and uncertain, but not quite uncertain. 1 cup water. Here we go, baby. Woo! And but I really like the people I was watching. I don't even remember how it all started. I don't remember thinking, okay, I'm just gonna watch for a while. Like, that's not really entirely my style. But I don't remember also jumping right into the chat, And I don't know. I think you said earlier today that was the first video of mine that you've seen, but it happens as it's meant to, right? And I just found myself doing it. And there's about 3 or 4 people that I do it with. And actually, just before this one, which kind of inspired the title, I was watching a guy who does van life living. And he's going around California, and he gives walking tours, and he hangs out in his van. He's got the ocean behind him. He's playing guitar today, and he's a beautiful fella, hippy, and really down-to-earth, nice guy. I was telling my friend not to talk too much about him, but I seem to remember that he started his journey into that when his young brother passed away. I remember writing a song at the time, which kind of ended up being more about mine. And I totally understand, too, when you don't have necessarily close family connections sometimes, or feel like you have many friends. And yeah, I've been angry like a wounded dog. The anger is because I feel alone, for real alone. Even around others, I'm afraid of it next. Perhaps you have some social anxiety. Perhaps you're on the autism spectrum. This is stuff that, sure, you can learn from a class. You can also learn it from living, from experiencing it yourself. And I relate. So, who needs a degree when you have had a very teaching type of life? But now it's time to use those lessons that I've been learning. It's time to take that and fly with it. And right now, and even when I do get to do more, I will still try and do stuff on YouTube. Maybe not as much, but right now YouTube is where I'm able to do it until I can align some opportunities. Some people don't communicate very well, and some people are very selfish, and some people are not very kind and empathetic. And I don't get those kind of people. I don't get them because I'm not that way, as you can tell. And so, but unfortunately, they sometimes make things a little bit uncomfortable for the rest of us, don't they? I'm not meaning to offend anybody, you know. I mean, if this hits home to somebody in the opposite way of being on the receiving end, that might actually be something to look at for a moment. Because you might actually be, and it's not to the person that's watching right now, but anybody who sees this after, as I wave my spatula around, it might actually be a wake-up call for you. You know, we're all human. We're all trying to figure out this life. None of us is perfect. Yes. But are people putting in the effort to do their best, or are they just like, yeah, whatever? You know, yeah, whatever. I'm mad at the world too, and I'm going to make it obvious. And, you know, those kind of things. Not a good way to be, right? Your mother is saying that although you had many beautiful parts of your connection, parts of your relationship as mother and daughter, she's saying that you'll relate to me. She feels like she's heard me talk about my mother, and she says you'll relate to me that it was a little bumpy at times. She says, I thought that I was giving her tough love sometimes, but it's really turned more into feeling uncomfortable in life. Feeling uncomfortable in life and feeling like you don't fit in. Feeling like you have to be tough and maybe even somewhat, and Jacqueline's a female name, so I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here. Maybe sometimes feeling like a lot of men feel, though, which is, you know, not so much these days, but still, which is, you know, got to keep the feelings in. Can't be vulnerable. But actually, you're not really that shy, I don't think. Or at least you're not with me. And she's saying that you have to let some of that hurt be expressed in healthy ways, and you have to grow from it and move on. I feel like I always have to have something to give to be accepted. That's an interesting concept. Let me sit with that for a moment while I give my stovetop a bit of attention. I don't think there's anything wrong with giving, if I'm giving my honest opinion. You know, people like to be given things. Sometimes whether they've asked for it or not, whether they know they want it or not. And so they would respond well to that. Absolutely. And sometimes it will be an imbalance, you know, where you're not getting as much from them. But there is a thing that some people sometimes say, and it can be hard, as I almost cramped my leg, because I almost cramped my leg because I understand sometimes it's just so imbalanced. It's just so imbalanced, it doesn't feel right. But sometimes you're giving because you truly want to. You truly want to do something good and nice for the other person. But you are needing something back. And it goes back to some people, they're like, okay, well, that was lovely. I hope I get more of that, or on with life. I don't want to call these people unthankful, but maybe some of them are. And I don't know, our second viewer, which side of that coin you're on, or you might be a bit on both sides. Right. I always show up as me. I don't have a choice, to be honest. And me means a lot of things. So it's do I have to do anything else with that? Let me check. I don't think so. And I don't know if it's a matter of seeing you or not. I mean, Cuevas is a popular Mexican name, probably. I mean, and I guess I can actually kind of see your image in small, but I mean, you know what I hear when I see that? I think it's because you can't see me, you won't judge me, but or you feel judged when you feel seen, when you feel, but somehow it's different when you're writing it. Maybe that's the way that you've used to express yourself in your life, whether it's in conversation or in journaling. I get it. Thanks, ANVB. Nice to have you here. I just want to let you know that there's a guy, and there's probably more than one that goes by it. He's from a country kind of close to you. His name may or may not throw you off. He was on my earlier long stream, but I don't know if the chat will show afterwards. Again, as a moderator, you can put people on temp timeouts, and I can decide, but try not to make any final decisions about the people I give. Okay, I struggle with that sometimes myself. But and thanks for the happy birthday. Na 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 na. Now say it's my birthday. Na 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 na. I think that this year has been a real good example of when we feel alone at special occasions, making them special, finding ways, whether that's podcasting, doing a hobby that you enjoy. Yeah. I'd like to say it was the 7th, but it's close to a 7, so it's mostly lucky. You know, how are you? I almost thought I missed you. Max is probably still rolling for another hour, eh? He never stops, and I'm one to speak. Just kidding. I sometimes do, though. I promise. Um, it's hard. It's hard. It often happens to really great people. That is the thing. It often happens to people that don't deserve to feel like they don't have connections in their lives. That they don't matter. They're really special souls, you know. I've always been somewhere kind of in the middle of the spectrum. Like, I don't want, for anybody that doesn't really know how to place me, as far as that goes, like, is this guy popular or is he a loner or does it matter? I mean, we all go through it at some point in time in our life, I've got nothing but it these days, it feels like, and I didn't get to my event earlier. It's going to possibly be raining tomorrow. I should let some fresh air in. I've been meeting here for 3 days, and that seems to be a theme lately. But yeah, it's I could sit here and be really, and sometimes am really disappointed that I've not gotten some of the places I want in my life. And anybody that sees this would be like an hour in, and it's not you two thinking it. What do you got, Bethany? But in this way I have, like, people will say, well, if you spent less time on YouTube, I mean, I'm not on it. I mean, I do watch it a lot and I do post on it a lot. It's true. But there have been times where I wasn't much of a podcaster. And sometimes YouTube is the outlet that is most accessible and meant to be for somebody. And so I'm thankful for it. Just going to move you on top of the coffee maker. Who ever thought you'd be sitting on top of a coffee maker, eh? Or where do I want to put you? On top of this chair? Somewhere stable where you're not going to, which is not that. Congratulations, you are now sitting on top of muffins. I don't want it to get the steam from the stove there. And usually it works just fine there, but I guess it's a little bit further forward or something. So today we have plant-based beef, cheese, and gravy wrap. Kind of like a taco, which is kind of ironic since I think huevos is probably a Mexican name. So we are muffin toppings now, and fine ones indeed. And that's the other thing too. I'm so glad that it may have been hard to tell with that very early stream today, but even, just don't ever abandon me. Okay, appreciate it if you don't. But even when we realize that we're coming into a community that seems to be well established, it might still be, and you can't go by numbers on channels and this and that sometimes, it might still be in its beginning stages. Remember A and B to like as well. Appreciate it. And that, but it could still welcome you in. That's the thing. Like, I met ANVB through a German musician that we both follow. I met, not a lot of us here right now, but I met myself when I was born. I met the van life guy, yeah. Who else? There's one or two more. Oh, right. There's a girl in Bangladesh that plays music, but she's had a noisy thing in the background lately, and well, I don't know. I don't hate her. She's not super my cup of tea, and it's not just for the community. I like that she looks at people's comments, that she's kind. She's actually kind of pretty, and that she takes song requests, as do I. I'm just going to move you to the living room. Now you're going to be on the coffee table. Man, you guys get around. Grab a beverage. Grab a nibble. The party is also about that, too. Grab a nibble? What the heck is a grab a nibble? I don't know. You said it. What? Sorry. Sure, I can amuse myself, but it's better when you all are here. Hi, dear. Can I take a moment of your time to wish you a happy birthday? Hugs. And yes, that's what I would want. Yes, that's what I would want. For my grandmother that I never met included. Well, if you want it, go for it, baby. Woo! I'm glad to see you happy, she says. I'm glad to see that you are getting to do what you want to do. That you are glad to see you smiling, shining, and using a lot of mayonnaise on your wrap. This is my grandmother you're hearing, even if it sounds like me. One of you would know what that means. One of you may have just discovered another bit of my diversity. Diversity in adversity. How's about that now, eh? I like them apples. Sorry, don't mind me. I hope that I'll be able to get the rest of that later. Oh, this could be messy. This could be messy. See, folding it doesn't seem like it says much of a meal. Oh, I don't want to mess up my podcast shirt, so I'm going to deal like that lady. That reminded me of the other Jackie, ironically. Yeah, we talked about them. No, did we? Okay, I'm coming. Hold on, because I'm coming. Woo! Isn't there more? I feel fine. Okay. Isn't there more napkins in this joint? Can I get a few napkins over here? Ray's like, yeah, I'll be right on it. A and B. I don't know what you know and don't know in some cases. In some cases about me. You know most things, I would say. And any of my quirky whateverness is good things. I do believe that, and I hope you agree. As I've been talking with our friend Jacqueline here about, I sometimes feel the presence of my angels and of people that have passed away to heaven. It's not like the media represents it as in ghosts. It's actually very special, very healing when I do. But I still appreciate my other interactions. So out in the kitchen a moment ago, you heard me talking to my grandmother who I never met in person. She passed away, I think, before I was born or when I was very, very young. She was very young. And Ray was a waitress. And a darn good one. And a karaoke host. And stop throwing napkins around, right? Got mad at from black and white. What? Oop. Where are my socks? And some people may say, oh, this man's gone nuts. Oh, I went nuts a long time ago. Yeah. I need speed. No, I'm not on anything, though, so that's good. I've stayed sober and clean while doing it. Well, most. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. My lotion. I left my lotion outside. My hands are dry. I'm PMSing. Somebody. Quick, get me a nurse. What? Were we talking about somebody who was a nurse in this podcast? Is that what I'm hearing? Really? Jacqueline? Connection to a nurse by any chance? I don't remember now why I asked for one. Oh, right. It's really autism spectrum. That's really what it is. And health. Anemia and... Oh, I didn't even make that connection until just now. Hi, Kathleen. Everybody say hi to G's sister. Recently passed. As I make my shirt bib. I don't even know if this would prevent it from going through or not, but oh well, we do what we can, right? I am though? Oh, are you really? I almost thought it was your mother, but mayonnaise, mustard, gravy. And it is hush. And that type of mayonnaise is a different type. It's a bit spicy, that's for sure. Habanero. And mango, I think. Some weird thing. Worked because, I'm a little weird. Let's get. Don't either of you say a little? Care to rephrase that? No, not really. Do you? At least from this distance and this lighting, if my face gets a little bit messy, you won't notice. And if I forget to cover my mouth while I'm talking with my mouth full, you might not notice either. It doesn't take me very long to eat. But it's sure a nice special birthday lunch. And then tonight, we'll have our concert with G. We will disappoint the guy at Carlos Kudu. I don't know what we're doing for dinner. It might be the usual. People say you have unusual dinner, like you have the same thing every night. I eat a lot of carbs. I do. Pasta, pizza, pasta. Well, I hope you'll be part of it. I know you've been in 2 of these, but why not say third time's the charm for today, right? Even a little bit. She is very talented. Well, go get something from the kitchen then. I'm not stopping you. Hush, Sonny. Hush, puppy. I like those, dear. Yeah, I need a nurse named Anita or Jackie. Either way, I've got one named Jackie right here. Like, yeah, weren't you paying attention? Until you donate, I can't afford to. This went down the Richard Hatt. What? Anybody ever watch that show? Survivor? Oh, I know. Grandma's supposed to be good with that, eh? My one grandmother was Scottish. Mm. You don't eat at night. Well, I hope you eat dinner. I think they recommend it. I'm honestly not sure. Do they? Who are they? And do they recommend it? I have to get my lip stuff next. Good news is for you, though, is I have finished eating now. And I'm running low on this stuff. It's easy because you have to dip your finger in it. It's easy, but it kind of stays on for longer. But it's dark in here. And then there was light. Step towards the light. Ah! I did that earlier, too. Yeah, G eats chips and yogurt every night before bed, and sometimes cookies, and sleeps just fine. Hey, the one door is open for some fresh air, and actually they both are, but this one's closer to me. But if you're going to be noisy, I'll have to send you upstairs again, and I hate to do it since you've been up there so much today. But I'll do it if I have to. Ow! I don't eat after 7 p.m. Is that a cultural thing or no? But if I'm very hungry, I'll have 3 eggs or something. How specific? Especially the or something part. Just kidding. Share some recipes. And it's always nice when the videos get comments afterwards because sometimes the live chat doesn't show. So if you remember that after this, maybe 3 hours later, but probably not at this point, especially since I do need my energy for tomorrow. But I'll have a lay down. I'll have a rest. I'll have some me time. Your me time and then my me time and then our me time. Are 2 of those the same thing? I think so. But yes, actually it is 2:41. We live somewhat close to a school. Teenagers can be noisy. And so it might be a bit noisy out there, but we'll see. And the dog, of course, has good hearing, and of course, they might have good hearing too. But my grandmother was more of a baker. Her chocolate chip cookies were okay, but they were a little hard. Either that or sometimes they were sitting in the tin too long because, I only lived with her for, well, I wasn't even local to my, I never met the, oh, that's, by the way, I sent you an email just so you know. You're like, Jackie's like, me? I didn't know you had my email. I don't. The other guy. He's like, is that, I'm putting words in people's mouth, but it's all for fun, right? The other guy, is that what you call me? Mm-hmm. Sometimes. That's what I call myself sometimes, too. Anyway. But I really hope to hear back from you there later today and, or soon. But we're in the present moment. She had shortbread cookies that had so much sugar on the top. But my God has a lot of sugar on the top. Like, sometimes I just look at them and say, my God, you're so sweet. And sometimes it's not the name in vain. But it is a little bit joke. And I say, sometimes you're really not, though. But I remember the one time she tried to give me haggis. We don't have to talk about it. I didn't eat it. She also didn't tell me it was haggis right away. But I was like, I don't want to eat it if we don't know what it is, though. I don't remember if that was a birthday or not. But she wasn't. They made soup from packets. They made sandwiches. They ate like old people. She was nothing fancy. And my other ones, like I say, I never met. And she's yet to share recipes. And I communicated with her for the first time 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. What's Dutch? Double? Potato chips? Dutch people? No offense to them. I'm just being a goof. Um, the Jackie I used to know. Now it's just a Jackie that I used to know. But now I know you, so it's all good. uh, my mother kind of ruined that one. Or my step. Oh, no, Scottish. Scottish. I mean, it might be Dutch also, but I've only ever known it to be British. British, actually, yeah. Didn't you be trying to say it's Dutch now? I won't say aye to that. uh, but but my other grandparents, like examples, for A and B who might still be on the fence is like, I still like them, even love them sometimes. And to the other viewer who are like, I don't know what to think about this talking to angel stuff though. But I'll tell you what to think. It's pretty rad when it happens. It's very healing. There. No. But my grandfather that I never met, he said that he knew how much, and it took, sometimes it does, and sometimes you have to hear it from others first. But it took, well, if you know what it actually is, I would hope that, I don't understand how people eat that kind of stuff. I really don't. Some people are weirdos. Not me, but, anyway. But, anywho, he had said, and don't forget to the third person, I'm glad to have you here for a while so far. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, and the notification button, and feel free to join the conversation. We aren't saying you're not included just because we're having a fun time ourselves here. As long as it's yeah. Thanks for the like, appreciate it. So feel free to introduce yourself a little bit. Appreciate the heart. So my grandfather, like my mother, only met him once. The one that wasn't her dad. He was dying in the hospital. I wasn't born yet. My grandmother was already passed away for a few years. So yes, before I was born. She lost a daughter young. She lost a son young. She lost a stepson young. It's very sad, actually. And so you wonder why, aside from the just general uncertainty, why I'm afraid to get old. I tell you. Um, but she's very gentle. She's very kind of silly. Very genuine, very kind of like, hello, dear. Very kind of like, one time I sneezed and I saw a flash visual where she kind of jumped, and then she was like, just kidding, or whatever. She once said to me, it must have been very hard for me to lose my dad when she gained him back. Um, oh, that is just such a deep statement, And I know that she felt so bad for so many years because he was always there with me and I just didn't sense it. And then at the age of 25-ish, I did. And I have a few times, not weekly, sometimes not every 2 or 3 weeks. And and his dad once said, that he knows how much my dad loved me. And so he does care about me. He says that he said to me at that first visit, and there's only been like 2 or 3 with him, that he was a very old-fashioned man. I mean, we could say, yeah, he grew up at that time. Of course he was. He's from that time. But there are a lot of seniors in this time, and they evolve up there. But, basically it was his way of saying that he doesn't really respect or doesn't really think that the type of relationship that I'm in is a relationship, but that he wants to be respectful, essentially. I can't remember. There's been a couple other visitations, but that's what stood out. What stood out is his acceptance and that he's loving me like my dad would. And my grandmother, Sadie, the one I never met, is just wanting to take a moment to thank you both and anyone else who shows me love on my videos, as well as the other angels up there, for doing so. Um, she says, I watched the individual that you had before you sometimes really struggle to navigate life without his father, with a mother that had some difficulties of her own. She says, and I think he's worthy of being very proud of. I know I sure am. So, and sure, I could say that's what I needed. I needed to share that with somebody and for someone to hear it and say, right on. But she says, yeah, you did need it, I think, And I know that you show to your viewers just how far you've come in life and how ambitious you are and how, what's the word, strong-willed you are. Those are things to be proud of, she says. Any of us that, yes, coming from someone that passed away a long time ago and passed away in a different age, different era. She says, getting up in the morning isn't always easy. Going through the sludge of the day isn't always easy. But we do it for the people that we care about. We do it because we know that we're worth it. Man, being deep, Grandma? She's like, yeah, it's one of my specialties. You got the recipe for that? No, just kidding. She's like, I think you did pretty good on your own. But I just wanted to come in, say hello, and pass along that message. And I always with you, always got love for you, my dear. And till again. ANVB, is there anybody you'd like to hear from? I love this. I wish today you get so many warm, long hugs. Thank you for showing up with love for us and yourself. Of course, I'm always willing to show up with love, even though sometimes, I may have bitterness sometimes in my life, but I try not to, and I certainly try not to bring it upon people who don't deserve it, who have not, I get hurt sometimes more often than I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Would you guys like to hear some music? Is there anybody I want to hear from? I didn't understand. How can you not understand based on the context that we're talking about here? What's the matter with you? I guess things can be taken more than one way sometimes, and so maybe that's what you meant. Like, I don't know why I keep feeling like there's a sister energy following me today a little bit. I don't know if it's Gina's. I don't know if it's more than one person. Yeah. It didn't seem to be the person that was, but sometimes they're like, I'm hanging around with you and I'm hoping that you talk to my loved one soon. And so I know that they're there. I mean, again, it's very rare. Usually it's just my own, but occasionally it's not. And it's like I'm hanging around with you because I know that you're going to connect with my loved one. And then it's kind of like I have that awareness and it's like, oh, is this for you? And I mean, but sometimes it's very, very obvious. Like when it's my own or with our viewer, Jackie, like we knew very quickly, bright and early in my morning, but Oh, okay. Just kidding. And I almost misinterpreted that, which is not a thing I ascertained. That kind of emoji, that kind of place, but I understand what you're saying. And you know what? They've already been in this world. They've already been in this world, and reincarnation shouldn't exist so that we can see them again when it's our time. And because why should anybody have to do it again? I mean, sure, there's a lot of greatness and beautifulness in the world and this and that, but I don't think it'd be very right to make them endure that again, as much as they want to be here for us. I asked a very interesting question a little earlier today, actually. Take those sixes away, actually. I asked a very interesting question earlier today. That if I could go and see one of my loved ones, I suppose even at a place that wasn't specifically symbolic to both of us, and see them again because they passed away, or just simply be there. Although I think more so the first, which I think I said in the opposite order earlier. Would I? As much as I want to say yes, first of all, how accessible is it? Second of all, I have this kind of connection with them, and I guess I've just gotten really used to it when I do, and the fact, in a lot of cases, the fact that they passed away, I've come to accept that. We don't have to like it, but we can come to accept it. It's really hard to do with some things, and this is one of them, right? And we certainly shouldn't have to, but a part of life is that we all pass away. It's just, it is. And I know that, this may seem to some people like a very morbid way to spend your birthday, but I just have so many that have. Like when I went to this series of workshops, a lot of people that were there had recent, like they mentioned one person, and I'm sitting here thinking I can't be the only one, especially with some people being older than me that's had more than one pass away. But I think that's what it was. They joined this group because they'd had a recent loss. And it almost came up with my friend earlier in conversation. But like, it's important to realize that some of the others from that thing, which I'm not identifying, super strongly, have went through it recently, and they're still dealing with that. They haven't done the healing that I've done yet. And I'm human, I still struggle. But I need to give them some space. They've got their lives they're living. They got their grief they're grieving and living. And although with the one, I think her son passed away 8 years. They are actually of Indian culture, Hindu culture as well, actually. I think she said 8 years. Stop being so safe. I don't know what you mean by that, but saying, so you're okay. So 1 minute here. I'm so afraid of, what I just to keep up with things a little bit. I'm so afraid of something is missing there, isn't it? But I don't see where it was at to begin with. But basically, you were saying you're afraid of dying. It makes you physically sick just to think about it. First of all, and it's something I grew up believing from a young age, but also with the experiences I've had. Heaven's a beautiful place. It really is. Like, we don't have to. I mean, you've shared a little bit about some of your struggles, so it's not necessarily hugely about, missing much, perhaps, but I'm sure there's some of that, missing much from your life. Just based on what you've said, that's what it kind of sounds like at this point. But life itself, sure, you can see it from beyond in heaven, but it's not the same as actually living it. Right? And the idea of, like, how would you die and what would it be like to go through that? I get that would be scary, but other than that, I don't really relate to. Sometimes I've been very ready, to be quite honest, but I am not going to do that, because I want it to happen. I hate to use the word natural, because any way that somebody could die, it's common, which is most of them, is a natural way. It's part of the natural way of things. But like, or pass away, I prefer to say. But like, I want it to be quick and painless. I don't want to have to. Yeah, and maybe I fear it a little bit because I don't know if it's going to be. You know, that was a blessing that my dad was afforded in his passing. Is that he just got, not just, but he got in an auto accident, and in an old truck that had welding supplies in it, which probably caught fire, and maybe wasn't equipped with airbags. And I hate to even think about it, but it's hard not to sometimes. And or like my friend who was in a diabetic coma for a day and a half ish. I mean, like I could have went to something today, and I haven't been going to it for a long time because there's a crazy lady at it, and she made a statement, not a personal threat, but could certainly take it that way. And I thought, even as much as I sometimes think I'm ready, one, I'm not fully, and two, I don't actually like want to be. I don't want to go through that kind of wait. Of either dying or getting injured. Like I just no thanks. Um, and the woman that led the group, because she's a woman, she understands. We do things as women as protection. And maybe didn't take her quite seriously. And then when she said, "Oh, only at night," I don't believe that, to be honest. They're both got a few screws. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if any of if Amber sees this, I mean, I really like you. I mean, you seem like a great person. You're doing important work. You've got a lovely smile, but there's a screw loose. I'm not sure what happens, and you know what happens. I think because you we know that there is light, there is clouds. It's good times. It's observing loved ones that are still observing the earth, but from a further altitude, um, and speaking to mediums or your loved ones directly. I mean, obviously. You have kids, or you have pets, or both? He said, "I don't have my mom. I'm afraid I won't have my babies. I'm afraid my babies won't have me." Sounds like you've also had a miscarriage. Um, so you might have one that, you might have both sides. Hiding from death. Um, so, and it was really cool that person, I don't know if they were just being supportive. I mean, they were here for a while, so I think they liked something. Maybe they just wanted to listen today. They just, but if I know you and I'm familiar with you, I hope you do believe that a couple of them, but, but that if I know you, I hope that you'll never be shy to at least talk a little bit with me, because I always wonder, who is that along the top? What are they thinking? Why won't they tell me? When they don't, it's like, come on. Well, and they knew I was rolling. I've got you two. I've got beautiful day, even though it's so outside. Do I want to do that song? I remember once I pulled up a U2 song, and it wouldn't load on the site because the band wouldn't allow it. The song I did the other day, I mean, lots of people do covers on here. The song I did the other day, YouTube said, they thought it was the actual Country Roads, I think. It's like, well, thanks. But I don't want to stop doing music on here. I mean, and a lot of people do covers. Like that was, maybe it's a sign to keep playing with the keyboard and fusion music so it doesn't get recognized, or maybe it was just somebody being an idiot and being, very uptight and said, "Oh, no, this isn't their content. I'm recording it." Who knows? But YouTube is actually fairly lax about that. Like they say, it just won't be monetized then. But you can always come to one of my other videos. Most of them are monetized, and give me any money you want to give me. I ain't gonna complain. Yeah. Um, if you're able, But no, I really relate a lot to you, Jacqueline. I really do. I'm happy to be here for you anytime. I know that sometimes mental health services or whatever aren't always the best they could be. I do think that a lot of times they are trying, but and I've utilized them, but I think my time utilizing them is in the past for the most part. I've had a lot of the skills already, and I'm still, an imperfect person, um, like us all. I've had a lot of the skills, but I wasn't ready, I guess, to do videos yet because I wasn't doing them at that time. And you'll know you're ready when you find yourself doing them, to be quite honest. Um, and everybody's experience is different, but I can say that for the most part, people will either be nice, it might take a little bit of getting to know someone, but they'll either be nice or they'll just ignore. And that's how it should be. If they want to chat, if they want to be a positive contribution, great. Otherwise, there's lots of stuff on YouTube they can check out, right? So, oh, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of getting back into action. Not super recently, but somewhat recently. Like it was, we weren't really utilizing it for a while, like I say, and so it's. But I definitely see its growth, and I'm very thankful for it. Yeah. I'd love to play you guys a song. Like I say, I don't do bars. I don't drive. I don't get to gig very often. I'm not super congested, and if I slow down for a moment, I might be all right. But I don't get to gig very often, so this is where I'm gigging. And yes, there is tonight's party, but I could do a song or two now. Hopefully, that still means that you could still make it to tonight, or at least the replay. At least the replay, if not hearts and celebrations, thank you. If not during, I have no idea what songs. What songs? I have no idea what songs I want to do now or later, so I need suggestions. I might have some ideas. I earlier when I went over there, I noticed that the laptop had to be plugged in, and I don't know why I didn't end up. Oh wow, that guy from Pakistan was distracting me a little bit, and I was gonna do a little bit of an interesting kind of show him an interesting item I have, and I don't know whether I should do it here or the other way now. I can't do it the other way if I don't hear from him, I suppose. But I was thinking of sharing that with you, AMBB, because I feel like we've been leading up to it. I feel like Jackie would be pretty cool about it, and yeah. So, but yeah, what song shall I do? Um, yeah, just a moment, please. I actually had those on the garage. Yeah, you probably still heard it, didn't you? You're like, yeah, we do have ears. Sorry about that. I didn't want to get too far away from you. I might start missing you guys or something. I don't know anything. Well, I think you know a few things, musically and otherwise. When I think of the name Jackie or Jacqueline, actually, I almost forgot about the one. I thought of two I've known in my life, but I've known about 4 or 5, and we have 4 people watching, so cool. I think of a kind of like a jig type song. Belfast City, the girl from Belfast City. Um, it's Dutch, but I think I've line danced to it in the past. I think of Rod Stewart. I think Elvish. We don't have really different taste in music or opposite. I think we just, first of all, don't you realize that I'm diverse with music, just like with a lot of other things? Like, there are certain, like I say, metal, not to be confused with hard rock. Not interested. Don't even want to talk about it. Sorry. Rap, I just don't simply do it very much. I couldn't believe that my friend Onk, that my friend, I think that's how you say it, or maybe Ank, just not Ank. Okay. I couldn't believe that, what was it he called metal the other day? Fortunately, I can't remember, but it so wasn't, and certainly not the way he was doing it. He kind of sounds the same with a lot of the stuff he does, but he's finding his confidence with his singing, I would say, and he might be new to guitar, new or nude, both. No, it's good. Yeah, it totally wasn't me, and I was totally okay with that, to be honest. But anything else, I'm pretty okay for. Um, and I don't do like Middle Eastern music, but some only guitar. Well, I guess I could do that too, but then they might think it's the original because I'm that good. No, and again, I have confidence in my music ability. That's not meant to seem like a big ego. It's okay to have a bit of one though. But 3 to 4, right on. But I did a song recently, like I say, and YouTube said that it was essentially that they either thought it was the original or like I've never. If that was happening, people wouldn't be posting covers. I can kind of get it with karaoke, unfortunately, but when I'm playing an instrument and playing a song, like that's a cover. That's why they call it a cover. And I got a message saying that, yeah. So anyway, but again, I don't get an opportunity. It's not that easy and accessible for me to gig. I need to be sharing it. I need to because people enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. It's a gift I was given, not to toot my own bugle, but there's that bugle again. It made its presence yesterday in a funny sort of way. I don't think either of you, well, one of you didn't know about me at the time, I don't think. And the other one was sleeping. Why? I don't know. When I'm rolling, Ellen used to say something about how y'all should really be watching the show. I feel the same thing, for the most part. Um, but yeah, so basically, I'm a little bit more drawn to the keyboard. I kind of want to do the guitar. I have to run upstairs before I start for like 2 or 3 minutes, take care of something. But Jacqueline, do you have a favorite song? Do you have a song that is makes that your mother was your mother's favorite, or makes you think of your mother, or makes you think of a memory you had with each other, or anything like that that you'd be interested in hearing and feeling the feels from, and that kind of thing? Anybody else have song requests? Don't forget to hit the subscribe, notification bell. I appreciate it. It's been a very podcasty day, but like I say, I definitely don't want to pass up the opportunity to podcast with G tonight, you know. And I used to do them so more often, and I think it's part of the reason why we're connected is to do music with each other, amongst the other reasons, and we've both been given that gift. We shouldn't waste it, right? Um, so little less talking, a lot more action. Little less talking, if you please. Little more talking, a little less talking, a lot more action. Anyway, I don't know if I like that song choice, but I do like Elvis. Um, Elvis. There is one preset in that keyboard. I mean, maybe it was just a standard rock sound, but I heard an Elvis song. I can't remember what preset, and I can't remember what song a few days ago. But it was there, I tell you. Michael Jackson. Who? Michael Jackson, that's who. Um, maybe this is more just of a snippet, singing snippet thing. If you want to be bad. But I don't want to tell anyone to beat it. Not as in like the leaving it got away or the fighting got away. No filter. Remember, it's in the description. I gave people a heads up, just so you know. And you're either fine with that or you shouldn't be here with this particular video. But no. Is that is what the lyric is, isn't it? But I'm also not making you not the event. I don't like madness. How lie. Make sure I click the right thing. Did you ever come around here? No. How about, hey baby, baby, with the high heels on, I give you feeling like I never, never know. Just to hear you. Well, you're hearing me sing a little bit, but why don't I do the way you're making me feel? I don't. Whenever I do Michael Jackson, I really do that. Hoo-hoo. But how can you not, right? In Soul Train. Wait a minute. What is that? That sounds familiar. Huh? Is that a band? Is that a famous band? I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. Michael Jackson is an icon, eh? Another one that had a hard life. Probably had some mental health difficulties for sure. But he did well for himself. And we have to have a bit of empathy for people with mental health struggles. And I know that there's one area where it's like it's a hard thing for a lot of people to say, how I can't empathize with that, celebrity or otherwise. But it is. It's a mental health condition. It comes from living lives of traumas and the way that some people deal with it. That's what I've gleaned, you know. A disco television show. Your mother was on television? What do I search? Are you kidding me right now? Well, we're going to go disco over here. But the way you're making me feel right now, you deserve it. Each and every one of you. But first I have to go upstairs, plug in a phone, do something really, really quick so I can focus. And then we have our Champagne Supernova. That's a song. That is a song, actually. Sorry, Sonny wants to go upstairs and waving this bag around and pacing back and forth. And yeah, so I'm going to pull up the songs. And I think what I'm going to do is The Way You're Making Me Feel. And then stay tuned, because tonight we can do this with G, like I say. So yeah, she was on television. Tell me more. Tell me more. Hey Ray, how you doing? Anyway, he'll do it with some flutes. He'll do it with some dancing. He might even sing half decently. Sorry, but I think he's better at the instruments, but he's okay at singing. The Way You Making Me Feel chords. Boom. What was the other one I said? Champagne Supernova. Okay. Boom. I'll be right back. I'm going to do that search. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. You're going to tell me how to find your mother on TV so I can see this woman who I've gotten to know a little bit. And it'll be good. Gee, good thing we have a rainy, snowy weekend coming up. We've got lots of videos to watch that you've been missing. YouTube likes to show you lots of things, so it's easy to get behind, especially when you're curious and interested and easily adjustable. Do either of you post content, by the way? I don't think AMVB does, but you should. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, with the high heels on. You guys are going like, this is going to be good. And I'm like, get your snacks. And AMVB is like, I told him I didn't have any. Well, take something. Or at least get a drink. Also, I can't count on Anonymous being here. Just a minute. I can't count on Anonymous being here to help admin later today. But tonight, but you've watched once or twice at that time of day, like in about 4 hours. So if you're able to come back then, might need you. Take the power, get the party gets more riled than even both of us. Seinfeld, it looks like you'll have to wait till another day. Maybe Friday. I don't know. Man, I wish some of you could be here in person and come watch that with me. I guess I can't either way, but. Oh, you did hear me upstairs, did you? I was trying to be loud so that you'd hear me. I guess it worked, eh? Okay, we're almost 2 hours in. There's two of you here. One of you already has it. coltynrocks@gmail.com. There you go. If you could send me a link and tell me which one your mother is, I'd love, because even though I have clear sentient, I think it is, where you see them sometimes, I want to see, people change their look from time to time. I want to see if they was ever, and I just want to see it. That's and that way we can be in touch that way too. Which is a reminder, AMVB, to see those messages, get some sleep, wake up, and join the party. We'll eat some red wine, wedding cheese? No, red wine cheese while we sing a certain song that I may or may not also sing now. Piano, on, style, boom. Boom, 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 stop. That was kind of tight, but intentionally see food videos so I feel more hungry, or you think that you're eating digitally, printing it out of the printer, right? I don't know. I think it's stronger. I think I prefer white wine, but I really don't drink very often, as some of you know. I don't want to turn the thing off completely. I'm just going to let some air here. The dog didn't seem to get up. Oh, I think he's upstairs, right? That's very cool. People do some interesting things in their life, don't they? And some interesting things on their lives, right? What's the difference between channel activity and go to channel? I don't know, but okay. It's a bit different and bigger picture, but still very pretty girl you are. If you don't mind me saying, Ray's funeral. They mentioned Mr. Holland's opus and beautiful, 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 beautiful girl. She was 32, but really more of a woman, but that I almost dated. But anyway, I shared the eulogy once. I incorporated that in it. I think I read it to Natasha, but I'm not entirely sure. Kate, did you for you only? Did you get the email mentioned? Hopefully. I don't think I'll stay longer today. It's already 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit congested because I've been podcasting up a storm today, but I'll rest shortly. And technically, when we roll at around 8 tonight, it'll be tomorrow for you. So, what a great way to start a day, hey? And you should, but we'll do a video call sometime. You haven't had wine ever. Vodka strong. Anyway, we're not here to condone drinking. Or are we? It can cause a lot of issues. Okay, we've got 4 of you here. Just need to breathe and find my water. I thought I'd run it over here. A couple people can make a difference. And retention along the top, although it's always nice to hear from them, or at least usually. But it really is a lovely thing. I'd love to keep that open, but I'll just take extra steps. Don't worry, it's virtually, so to start a day, I have to sleep. I see what you're saying, and it's a fair point. Because I know Ray said this morning, that sleep's important. It wouldn't have prevented her passing, but that it may have prevented my dad's, come to think of it. I can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. Like say he fell asleep, or I didn't say, but he fell asleep at the wheel. So, but we get past these things with time, right? He worked a lot. More than he had. He did have 2 sons to support, even though we had different mothers and didn't, I'm looking for Disco. Disco, where are you? I have stuff on top of the piano, including I've already made $100 just sitting here. Just kidding. But there's $100 there. So, just say no. And no, I'm not sharing it. Just kidding. Well, I'm not actually, because you live too far and I'm not rich. So, some people are like, I don't have $100. Yeah, I usually don't either. Oh my gosh. This is tiring, podcasting and being so wonderful and amazing. Just kidding. But I don't mind for the right people. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not. But it's okay. Move along. Yeah, 4 a.m. I haven't had late nights like that. Even my karaoke days. 3 a.m. sometimes was the latest. But I do want to make sure you're here tomorrow because Anonymous doesn't seem like she's online very often, for Maxie. And there was the other guy, he might show up. But that happened also by joining chats, finding mods. So, okay, Disco, where are you? Disco, where are you? Is it a category? Dance? Dance and disco are 2 different categories? Can't you dance to any type of music? I'm so confused. Which is the one, can I tell? Can I tell which is the one that has the really long outro? Let me try. Yeah, I think that's it. Guess what? I know I said a lot of things worth agreeing to. Which one are you agreeing to in this very moment? It's very beaky. It's very, I don't do clubs. This is one reason, for the most part. In my head. Right. So I don't think I like that one. It says, in his head. Go to bed. Go to bed in your head. Thank the Lord there's only just the 2 of you here, and I think you guys can handle that kind of loudness. And we're 2 hours in almost. Let's try this one. I think I like it. I don't know about that other sound. Oh, gosh. Gosh, oh. Oh, gosh. Gosh, oh. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Takes me a little bit of time to set up. It says 16 times. I'm not going to do that, though. The brain is dancing like SpongeBob Jellyfish. Hi, Clark. Hilda from Beyond. This is a kind of an R-rated song, so I hope you're an adult. But you have kids around, headphones in. They left? Okay. I think it's too fast. I must have been doing like a fast song last time I was here, but it was off, so no. I don't know what I think of this sound effect. Let's try it. Well, I see it. Pause. I don't think it's interesting enough considering this song actually just goes back. It has this ED 16 times intro and then ED for the verses. There's actually not a lot of chords in this song. I think I'll like disco more. Where does it come in? 55? We're almost there. And then Elvis. I'll do Elvis tonight too. Let's try this. A pretty baby with the high heels on. Give me fever like I never ever known. Here's my pup too. The buttercup, loveliness. Still too fast. Your dress. I feel the fever from miles around. Pick you up in time and paint the town. Kiss me, baby, and tell me twice that you're the one for me. The way you're making me feel, you really turn me on. Jazz, you knock me off of my feet now. Loneliness are gone. I like the feeling that you're giving me. You know that, baby, that I'm in ecstasy. I'll be working from 9 to 5. Hello, Dolly. Buy your things that keep by my side. I never felt so in love before. Promise, baby, love me forevermore. I swear I'm keeping you satisfied. You're the one for me, the way you're making me feel. Got me off of my, turn me on. Knock me off of my feet now. My lonely days are gone since I found this cool guy on YouTube. Cool individual. Go on, girl. I've never done this so much. I've never really done Michael Jackson authentically, apparently. Or no, God, I've done music. You can mess with kids later. Never felt so in love before. Baby, baby, I love you forevermore. Swear I'm keeping you satisfied. 'Cause you're the one for me, the way you're making me feel. Get me off my feet now. Many repeats in the part I'll skip. There will be some Elvis tonight, if not right now, but it would have to be a slow one. I'm going to do a little snippet of Red Wine Supernova. I'll do the full thing tonight. And let's do it with jazz. No dark magic. Baby, to know ya, 'cause I didn't quite think it through. Fell in love with the thought of you, and I'm choked up and face down and burnt out. Baby, why don't you come over when I'm supernova falling into you? So I think, even though G's still not home for an hour, I podcasted much of this day. One of you needs to get to bed, but just like with Maxie, it's hard to pull yourself away from such greatness, right? Like, come on, right? So, but I do want you to be well rested for tomorrow, so I'm going to help you with that. I want to make sure I'm well rested, even though if I do my self care, my rest things, and take a bit of a break, and maybe we'll see you back here as well, Jackie. If not, you can catch her on the replay. It's always nice to get comments live, but it's also nice to get them after, and have a bit more balance with that. It's been really nice visiting with you both. We never know in this life. I just hope that we all keep on keeping on, preferably on this plane, because it's what we're used to. It's pretty special as well. And I can't but think, thank you. I can't but think, I've been doing all these party fun podcasts and such, and it's kind of like, maybe I get that fear of dying as much as I sometimes want to. It's like, okay, well, tonight isn't guaranteed. Like, that I might have some sort of medical issue. I mean, my health is pretty good mostly, so hopefully not. I don't mean to worry anybody, but when we go through life and we know the things it can do, it's kind of like, and I kind of, I've thought a couple times, it's kind of like, am I doing all this now because I'm not going to get to with G tonight? Is something going to happen to one or both of us? Please hope that it doesn't. I'll hope that it doesn't as well. Sometimes I do. Thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. How do we know sometimes? How do we know the difference, right? I mean, it's so easy to do. But I guess it's probably close to what time it is here in Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia, whichever that one is. It's 3:37 here in Canada. And at around 8 or 8:30, after our usual late dinner and a couple other things, we'll come back. We'll come back and do more fun. And that's the plan. I bet you that my friend Danny is still doing his van life live stream, because he'll go, you think I go a long time, he'll go for 7 or 8 hours. I think I maybe even seen one that was 11. Like, he it is true. And, maybe he doesn't feel those kind of angelic things. He lives a pretty lonely life too. I mean, he's not shy. He's got a great online community. He talks to people he runs into, whether he knows them or not sometimes. And he's living kind of you could almost say he's homeless, living out of his car, but I don't think that's how he thinks of it. But he's living a pretty lonely life. But he makes it not so, and so that's doesn't look like you post anything yet. Oh, I dropped down something in front of it. It says, "This Chad." Where's the rest of the word? Oh, I dropped down something there. But yeah, so he's probably still rolling, and I was hoping to see some of the people from there. But again, he's very addicting, like myself. So and everybody has their own reasons why they feel that. So, and sometimes you need more than 1 minute when there's a busy chat. So I get it. I hope he sees these. Maybe he even did tune in. He was having some slight, and he's very fancy. He's almost too technical for me, but he was having some mild glitches. So I don't know. Maybe he was here briefly, but he didn't say anything. But anyway. Nice to know you are